GF, 24F, punched me multiple times so I, 25M, punched her back. Now I'm the bad guy? We had an argument and were talking and she got upset. I got up to get water and she followed me and started pushing me. I told her to stop and she continued and kept talking. She punched my arm and started digging her nails and I told her to F off and she said I was being rude and not answering her. I told her I don't care and she has to stop scratching me and she punched my arm again. I responded by punching her arm back and she started crying. She said I'm a horrible man because I am stronger than her. Fair enough, but I warned her multiple times. And I didn't hit her because of anger issues or because of the fight. I only did it because she wouldn't leave me alone. She said I'm a lot bigger than her and she's too small to cause pain. Sure, her punches are painless, but she broke the skin on my arm with her nails. There's a bunch of red marks. I did not even punch her with all my actual strength. You need to get out of this relationship unless you want to end up in handcuffs. Not even playing. Your relationship is now abusive and toxic. Get it together and leave. Just break up. She physically abused you, and you chose to hit her back. Just call it quits and walk away before either of you gets a DV charge. Domestic violence is an absolute deal breaker, no matter what gender. You two need to break up. She's not normal. She's abusive and crazy and will do this again. Then she'll tell the police it was the other way around to hit you with DV charges. Run. This relationship is over. You two aren't safe around each other, period. I am upset because my 31F husband, M35, didn't get me cheesecake for my birthday. I know that title seems a little silly, but all I've asked my husband for the last week is flowers and cheesecake for my birthday. We have a new place that opened in town and I've literally been mentioning it every day for a week to get me the sample platter. He works the afternoon shift, so I told him I want to come home to flowers and cheesecake and that's it. I am 16 weeks pregnant and it's literally all I've been thinking about all day long. When I came home, there were just flowers, which I'm thankful for, but no cheesecake. I am a little upset because I really didn't ask for much and I've been looking forward to it all day. I know it's not a big deal, but I'm a little hurt that he didn't put more effort into it. Edit. I did message him asking where's my cheesecake and all he said was, I ate it. I don't think he actually bought it and ate it. I think it's more of a snarky reply. He's usually very good at surprising me, not sure what happened this time. I would be kinda upset too. You're growing the human inside you for both of you and he couldn't be bothered to go and get a cheesecake? Hopefully the cheesecake is still coming your way, crossed fingers. Do you think he actually ate the cheesecake, or was he making a joke? If he was just making a joke, you need to let him know that you are actually hurt, and your birthday is not the time for these jokes. If he's not joking, hoo boy. Regardless, if I were pregnant and came home to an empty house on my birthday without the cheesecake I asked for, I would probably cry. You're right to be upset. Not break up with him, upset, but I think the feelings are valid, and you should let him know how you feel. It's such a small ask, I understand why you're upset. You didn't ask him to make the cake. You only wanted him to buy it, and he didn't do it. I don't really have any advice other than to ask him why he didn't do it. Hopefully he makes an attempt to get the cake ASAP. I'd be upset also. The "I ate it" comment tells you everything you need to know. You asked for almost nothing, you set an expectation, and he ignored you, chose not to care, and doesn't feel the slightest bit bad about it. I think his comment was an attempt at a joke, and I don't think he ate it. I think he either forgot to get it or didn't care to. But whether he actually ate it, or he was trying to make a joke, it still shows he does not care that Ob does not have cheesecake on her birthday. He ate the birthday cake for his 16-week pregnant spouse? Does he have a death wish? My F27 boyfriend, M29, of 4 years just told me he doesn't see himself marrying me. My boyfriend of 4 years told me he doesn't see himself marrying me. He told me he hasn't had that, hell yeah I want to marry you feeling. But in the same breath will tell me he loves me and wants to be with me for right now. He claims there's nothing I did, that there's nothing he can pick out about me that does not check his boxes, but because he hasn't had that grand giant feeling he doesn't want to continue after the lease but wants to be together now. I feels like he wants me to be a placeholder until someone else comes around. For a little backstory, he is not an openly emotional person. He thinks very black and white with logic, and he is not expressive in emotional feelings to a point he himself has admitted he may be on the autism spectrum because his brain doesn't work like a normal person. A year ago he broke up with me. I moved out and basically moved across the country. Within a week he called me asking me to come home. He misses me, he has no purpose. He's never felt so alone in his life. Told him if he wants me to come back he needed to come get me then and show me. He buys a plane ticket that night and comes back and gets me within 24 hours of that phone call. Now a year later another moved together into a new place and he drops this on me. I feel like I'm crazy for thinking when he came and got me that was his, yeah I wanna live my life with this girl, moment. But maybe I'm just trying to justify and find a reason as to try and have him stay. I feel like he is my person and want to be a partner with him forever. We're currently in the same apartment and now living in separate rooms. Am I too blinded to see the reality that he'll never be with me? Or is he just confused and missing the bigger picture and overlooking what is happening? He wants me to be a placeholder until someone else comes around. Bingo. Some people can't be alone. He doesn't want you, but he doesn't want to be alone more. You literally are a placeholder. Have some self-respect and leave. Please. He won't change his mind. He wants you right now. Not forever. What happens when he decides that right now is done? For your own sake and sanity, just leave. Find someone else who is actually worthy of your time. I ran into many men like this before I got married. My advice? Block him from everywhere and run away fast as possible. Find a marriage-minded man. Sweetie, you feel like a placeholder because you are. He has literally told you that to your face. He is just stringing you along until he falls in love with someone else. My F19 biological mom is 35. My dad is M45. Words cannot express how I'm feeling. If you do the math, you'll see that my bio mom was 16 and my father was 26 when I was born. I never knew this, so I'm really disappointed at the moment. I never really knew my mom. She and my dad split when I was 3 and the memories I have of her are very distant. My dad remarried when I was 6 to my stepmom, F42, and together they had 3 more kids. In my household, it was no step or half, we were simply just family. Did I ever wonder about my bio mom? Yes and no. I was raised in a tight-knit home, so I never felt like I was really missing something because my stepmom also raised me, but I sometimes wondered about the woman who I'm supposedly a carbon copy of. My dad rarely talked about my mom. From what I knew, they got married when they found out she was pregnant, and she left. I reached out first and we met up for the first time last week. I was so nervous. I felt like I made a mistake, but she explained to me her story. My mom was a troubled teen and she left home. She and dad met when my mom was 15, shortly after she ran away from home. He offered her a place to stay, and it wasn't long before they started a relationship. She said that she was miserable at the time. She didn't want a baby, me, she didn't want to be married, and she realized she made a mistake. She said the marriage was so bad, and it was really unhealthy. So one day, at the same exact age I am right now, she left. She moved back home and restarted her life. I'm so angry. I'm so angry about so many things. I was groomed when I was 14 by an adult and luckily my dad caught the situation fairly early before any serious damage could happen. The way my dad handled it was amazing, yet it turns out he is the same exact person I escaped. And also, I'm regretting meeting my mom. I keep dodging text messages, which isn't fair as I'm the one who reached out to her, but I'm regretting it. Why did I find it necessary to meet a person that didn't go looking for me? It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I don't know how to process this wave of emotions. How do I? The person that I usually go to for advice on things is my dad, but what can I do now that I can't even go to him? I've been doing well, you know? I've been in therapy since my early teens, but as of 2 years ago I've been doing so well. Now, it feels like I'm in a rut. It feels like I'm mad at everyone and all the angry emotions are just piling on. How do I process everything? Whoa, honestly this is therapy level stuff. This is really messed up. It's okay to dodge calls ATM. You need time to process. Did your dad know you were getting in contact and meeting with your bio mom? Firstly, I'm so very sorry you're going through this right now. I'd suggest doing additional therapy sessions if you can while you try to process everything. This is a lot, and anyone would struggle dealing with this. I would suggest avoiding making any decisions about your mother right now. Perhaps you could just text her and tell her you're overwhelmed and ask if you can have some space right now. If you think you may want to pursue a relationship with her, you could just ask her to give you a bit of time before you get in touch with her when you're ready. Everybody acting like the fact that he did the bare minimum and stuck around to raise the child he put in another child is pathetic. He's not a better person because his baby trap blew up on him, and I don't think it's productive to empathize with a predator. Talk this out with your therapist because no one here is capable of rational thought. They're just going to try to make you feel better and placate you in ways that won't serve you in the long run. People are complicated, and a lot of men do things they wouldn't want done to their sisters, moms, or daughters. He may have also become a better person over the years. It still doesn't make what he did okay. I'm just explaining how he did something and then protected you from it. What were you expecting from your mom, and at what point did you become uncomfortable communicating with her? There are reasons your mom may not have reached out, but you'd have to talk to her to get an accurate answer. P.S. You should probably see a therapist. This is above Reddit's pay grade. Edit. I have another comment explaining why he knew was wrong. If someone tries to pull the "times were different back then" card. That's BS. Yeah, this is way above Reddit pay grade. Absolutely center your present therapy around this. Time to revisit therapy. I feel for you. I feel for your biomom. Your dad is still a pos.